he's like laying there dying. And this is where it gets, this is where it makes me angry. If it's impacting your everyday life, that's the time to go to the doctor. What do you do when your doctor says it's fine, but you don't feel fine? Girls, it's Demi here, and today I'm making a video that I have wanted to make for so long, and it's all about what to do when your doctor tells you you're fine but you don't feel like you're fine, or when you go to your doctor to talk about your period and you feel like you're not being listened to or heard, or you're not getting the answers you want. Like your gut instinct is telling you that there's something more. Like if you're told that everything's okay, it's normal, but deep down you're like, no, I don't feel normal. This shouldn't be normal. This can't be my normal. Period symptoms do not have to be your normal. Horrible period pain, horrible acne, horrible mood swings and PMS that cause you to fight with your friends or your parents every single month doesn't have to be your normal. You deserve to have a better period, and you can. So when I do presentations in schools about periods, a lot of the questions I get from girls who come up to me afterwards is, I'm experiencing this with my period, whether it be pain, acne, PMS, it's not coming at all. My doctor says I'm fine and it's normal, but I don't feel fine and this doesn't feel normal. What do I do? I want to answer that question. What do you do when your doctor says it's fine, but you don't feel fine? Sometimes, especially if you're a teenager, it might just be your body still learning the job of having a period. Go onto my Instagram and look at the post I've done about the HPO axis, if that applies to you. In some cases, your body just might need a little bit more time to learn to have a regular period, and the doctor's right. You just need to wait it out. However, there are different circumstances where you've got persisting pain that is crippling, and people who aren't teenagers, who are older and who have had symptoms for years and years and years. If it's impacting your everyday life, that's the time to go to the doctor. So that's the first rule, essentially, that I like to talk about. If it's impacting your everyday life, go to the doctor, go seek help. And then the second thing that I like to tell people is, just because it's common, so your friend, your sister, your mum, your cat, the girls on Instagram all get these symptoms that you get, doesn't mean it's normal if it's bothering you, or if it's hurting you, or if it's impacting your quality of life negatively. Go and seek help, because like I said, you can have a better period. Periods don't have to be a week from hell. They can be quite fine for a lot of people. So the first thing is knowing when to go and seek help. The second thing that I'd like you girls to do, if you feel like you're in that boat, is to track your period. Track all your period symptoms. And in my new ebook, The Bright Girl Guide, I've got a list of all the symptoms that we should be tracking, or you should be tracking most of them. And I don't mean tracking the symptoms on the week of your period, on the days you're bleeding. I mean every single day, because we're always in one phase or another of our menstrual cycle. We're always in the cycle. It's a cycle for a reason. It never stops. We're always in it. So on every day, track your period symptoms or your cycle symptoms. So that might be, what's your mood that day? Might be a great mood, might not be. What's your motivation that day? What about concentration in class or at work? Can you concentrate that day? Because that's telling of stuff that's happening with your hormones. Acne breakouts, your appetite, are you really hungry? Are you not really hungry? Pain, any kind of pain, and then of course your typical period symptoms, like, is your period light or is it heavy? Do you have clots? What's the color of the blood? All of these things. But if you order the Bright Girl Guide ebook, I'll put the link in the description, this is all laid out for you there. And then track it on an app or on a chart. Again, I've got that all laid out in the Bright Girl Guide, so I might skip over that part just to make this video a little shorter because it's getting a little long. So track all your period symptoms. The reason I say that is because when you go to your doctor, it can really, really help them to see a graph of your period symptoms, It can help them look for patterns. If there are patterns, for instance, you're getting all your acne breakouts at the end of your cycle. There's not really many at the beginning and they're all at the end. That can really give a doctor insight into what's happening with your hormones. And if they know what's happening with your hormones, they can give you the best solution possible. It's not just guesswork. It's not just like, well, it could be a range of things that's happening. We just might try this, see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll try this. If it doesn't, we'll try this. No, if we can figure out some patterns, gives us insight into what's happening inside our body, and we can get the best solution faster. Now, along with showing a doctor your chart, it may also be a great idea to ask for your hormones to be tested, because if our hormones are tested and we can see what's actually happening inside our body, then we can get the most appropriate answer quicker rather than it just being guesswork. A lot of the times though, doctors won't be super keen to test your hormones if there's not really a good reason to, because hormone testing costs money. Everything costs money. You don't have to pay for it. The government pays for it. Medicare, if you're in Australia. If you're not in Australia, I don't know how it works for you. But it costs money. So the doctors have to have a good reason to warrant testing your hormones. This is where your period chart comes in. Your period chart, if you've got a visual version of all your symptoms and everything that's happening, that can be, in some cases, proof enough or enough reason for a doctor to warrant having your hormones tested. So instead of them going, oh, you don't need your hormones tested, you just need to wait it out, or you just need to go on the pill, I don't know, then they can see, oh, she's getting all these symptoms around ovulation. Maybe it's a problem with her FSH, or maybe it's a problem with her LH. Maybe it's a problem with her estrogen. I don't know. Whatever it is, the doctor can have better insight, and maybe they would test your hormones where they wouldn't otherwise test them if you didn't have that chart to show them. That's my second thing, is track your period cycle, show it to a doctor, and look for patterns. Now, my third tip is for the situation where you've been to the doctor and they've said, everything's normal, it's fine. Seek a second opinion if your gut's telling you it's not fine. Now, who do you go to? So your doctor down the road, your general practitioner. My hat goes off to them, because they have to know a lot. Like, anything that anyone could come into their office presenting with, they need to know something about it. So that might be a foot fungus, it might be something stuck up their nose, it might be tummy problems, it might be they're growing something, they've got something stuck in a weird spot. They need to know something about a lot of things. And what that means is that most GPs, if not all of them, only have their specializing area or their specialist area in one or two different areas. They're not going to be a specialist in everything. They're going to know something about everything, but they're not going to be a specialist in it, which means your GP up the road probably isn't a specialist in women's health and hormones. And that's okay. They're a great starting point, and GPs can order hormone tests to be done for you, which can be really helpful and insightful in trying to get the right treatment for you. But they're not expected, we can't expect them to know everything about periods, women's health, and our hormones. What they can do is refer you on to someone who does. So you can ask them to refer you to a women's health specialist who's just a doctor whose specialist area is in women's health. You could also be referred to a gynecologist. Gynecologists aren't just for pregnant women, they are women's health specialists, and they deal with periods, hormones, vaginas, all day, every day. So they're going to know their stuff. They're going to be able to give you more specialized help, and they might be the preferred route to go to for people with specific endocrine or hormone conditions. This is a page in my ebook, The Bright Girl Guide, and it goes through all the different options for different types of health professionals who could help you with your period, so that you know where to go, because there are different options out there, but it's not always easy to get connected with a health professional. So this page, which is page 62 in the Bright Girl Guide, should hopefully really help you. And I've also got a table here of, you know, where to go first, where to go second, who to get a referral from to go to who. And you can also Google women's health specialist as well. And if you Google a women's health specialist or a women's health clinic, you can go to one of those and be connected with a professional who deals with women's health, periods, and hormones all day, every day. I also want to point out that in the Bright Girl Guide, this is just one of 3 pages where I go through characteristics of a typical menstrual cycle. So this first one here said the blood should be a rich, bright red color. And that's a good way to tell if your cycle is typical or not. And there's in total 9 different characteristics of a typical menstrual cycle, which can help you determine, is my cycle typical, or are there things about my period that I need to work on that could be better so that I can love my period instead of it being frustrating or instead of hating it. So I really encourage you girls to get the Bright Girl Guide. If it's before Christmas, I've got a sale going on. I'll put the link in the description. And if it's after Christmas, it's still cheap as chips anyway. It is life-changing information in here that will absolutely change the way you see your period, change the way you understand your hormones, help you to know how to track ovulation, help you to know what hormones do what. And honestly, when I learned this stuff, my life was absolutely changed. So I really want you girls to have that same kind of feeling of empowerment as I did when I learned this information. I really hope you can get the ebook. But yeah, I hope you liked this video as well. Like I said, leave me comments, follow me on Instagram, and please subscribe because I'm so excited to make more videos for you girls in the new year. I actually really want to do a video where I make a Christmas tree made out of tampons, and a video where I burn pads and tampons to see how different brands burn because of the different chemicals that are in them. I'm so excited to make those videos. I just have to find a way or a place to burn things because that's not always legal. All right, girls, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, also, someone tell me what my outro should be because bye is a bit, I don't know, unoriginal. All right, this video is done. All right, love you, Bright Girls. See you in the next video.